Hi, I'm the Zen Mommy. I'm here to help you with spiritual awakening, ascension, and the healing of the mind, body, and soul. I would like to take a moment to welcome all my new subscribers. I seem to be getting up there. We're almost at 2,000. Yay. And if you're watching this video for the first time today, or coming across one of my videos or my channel, I want you to take a moment and press the subscribe button if you like, if you resonate. And if you press the bell button, it'll notify you every time I have a message. Every time I post a new video. And also, one announcement before I get into this. I started a series. I took ayahuasca, and I learned so much during the ayahuasca experiences I had that I am making a docu-series on everything I'm learning. And we're gonna dive deep, and things are gonna really get esoteric, and the stuff that I want to talk about, I'm gonna have it on Patreon. So it's gonna be a subscription service that you can subscribe to, and it'll be like I'm gonna release episode after episode. So right now I have 7 experiences with ayahuasca, and so the first few episodes are gonna be about catching those up. And then as I do the ayahuasca monthly, I'm going to try to do it once a month. I'm going to document that experience, and eventually I want to have like this whole documentary movie or whatever. It's just so deep. And so if you have a chance to check it out, please check out my Patreon. The link is below. Now today, my subject is how does marijuana affect ascension? I had a few people ask me that. I had that one video where I had a blunt in the video, and I was just trying to make a statement at that point about the issue I was talking about. But the truth is, I am a cannabis user. I had a cannabis card in California, and I want to talk a little bit about what cannabis is and what does it mean to me spiritually. And I want to start off as I was raised in a really restricted environment, a church that was full of restriction. And one of the things, I was embedded and encoded with all of these misaligned belief systems that pretty much everything, like we lived a completely sheltered life. No music, can't go to the movies, that kind of thing, right? And so drugs was absolutely wrong. Also, sex before marriage was absolutely wrong. So to do something like marijuana for me, I was the goody goody two shoes Christian girl. Like I really, I didn't say I was doing good things, not doing bad things and then going out and do it. I was actually doing everything we were supposed to do. I thought everybody else was doing it. So marijuana was out of the question for me. I felt like, why do people want to do drugs? Why did they just get stupid when they smoke it? Why do people want to see, psychedelics like mushrooms and stuff? Like, why would somebody want to hallucinate? Like, who would do that to themselves? That's the kind of attitude I had. So I had found myself at a time about 3 years ago when my church put me out they put me out, not that I did anything bad, it's just that I lost my job, and I had to move in with an unsaved roommate, and they were like, you got to get a new job and a new car, and you have 30 days to get it, because we weren't allowed to associate with people unsaved that didn't go to the church, or family members that didn't go to the church. And so at that point, I spent 30 days trying to figure out how to come up with a car and a job so fast that I met this person. And let me tell you something, after a sheltered life, I didn't know anything about the streets. So I met this guy, and he had some quick scam to make money. He ended up like scamming me and breaking into my accounts and taking my money. Anyways, during this process, and here's an airplane, so we're gonna let that pass by before I move. Yep. So during this process, this is a Monday afternoon, it's gonna be plagues. In this process, this guy, he was a weed head. I couldn't walk into his car without, I mean, it just was to the point where I was just getting high by sitting in the car, because the car, and at first I was like, no, I don't want to try it. He would always try to pass it. I'm like, no, I'm still holding on to my Christian values. Pot is wrong, and no. And so I began to start going through stuff, starting to get stressed. And I was just like, forget it. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in that church all my life, and I was just thinking, they won't even let me go there. They're still controlling me. Why not try it? And the first time I tried it, I was extremely high, and I just remember being really relaxed, like too relaxed. It was just too much, right? And so after a while, I left that person. When that person did all that stupid stuff, I left that person alone. But I decided to do it for myself. But like now that I know, I was going to do it in small doses, so I started doing it once a week. Then it went from once a week to after work. Then it went from after work to big time stoner for a while, right? So I got married, and I was in a very toxic situation, and I felt my only release from this relationship was the cannabis. Like, it was the only thing that like completely took me out of the stress and out of my mind and just put me like right there into relaxation mode. And I want to say that it made a big difference towards my awakening. And so like I'm not going to sit up here and tell you there's something wrong with cannabis because I totally believe cannabis is a conscious plant. And I want to get into that a little bit deeper. Okay, so what I feel about marijuana and Ascension, okay? I feel like, okay, number one, marijuana clears your energy, okay? When you smoke marijuana, say you're stressed out, you got that stress energy around you, you're angry, and you got this angry energy and you can't really get out of it. Well, if you hit a blunt or a joint, some marijuana, it completely, like everything, say you're worried about the car, the bills, you're mad at your best friend, and you just feel off balance, right? You can smoke marijuana and all of a sudden, everything, you don't care about anything else anymore, okay? So it's the surest way to your present moment, and this is why I really feel like with meditation, it helps you get there a little faster. Sometimes when you're beginning to meditate, it's a little bit of a struggle. You got all these things in your mind, all these words. Let me tell you, cannabis bypasses that point. And that's why I feel like it's amazing for that, right? Okay. Also, let's see, what other benefits for it? When my first time hearing my spirit guides talk, I smoked cannabis. So let me tell you, your mind is so cleared out from all of the background chatter, you can clearly hear your spirit guides. And I remember the first time it told me you need to abandon every belief you ever known in order to come this way, to open up to all the unlimited possibilities and to have all this knowledge. And it was hard to accept it. And I was thinking, is this my imagination telling me to abandon these beliefs? But I knew I wouldn't tell myself. I knew how hard-coded I was in my religion. I would never tell myself, abandon those beliefs. But let me tell you, the moment you do abandon every belief system or open up to the idea that there's more, once you take the side of the spirit, the unknown, the universe is at your will. The power is there for you. Now it's there to assist you, to show you things. And I have to say, I owe it to cannabis. When I started Zen Mommy, it was going to be Stoner Mommy because I felt like Stoner Mommy was sending the wrong message. Now, let's talk about, let's see, the one thing I want to mention also about cannabis is a lot of people will, one other little quick story. I was in post-traumatic stress. It is so hot out here now. I was in post-traumatic stress. I had miscarried 2 babies, had toxic husband, and I was pregnant with Storm, and they thought I was going to lose a baby. So I was in post-traumatic stress support group. It was like this whole day program, right? And I would sit there in the classes, and the people would be, I can't believe you did that to me 40 years ago. People were sitting there just the depressed energy. And I was sitting there, I just want my husband to come home. I don't know what I did. Why he doesn't love me, and I have this baby, and I don't want to be. I was sick, crying the whole time, right? And I was not smoking cannabis. And I remember one day, I couldn't take it anymore. It was like the holidays, and my husband, I was super depressed during the holidays because he wasn't home, and I felt like, being an orphan, I didn't really have family anyway. And you see everybody else, I was going through it. And finally I was just like, no. I was trying not to do it during our pregnancy. I didn't want to risk losing a baby. But, I did read a lot of information that it actually helps babies. And in Jamaica, they use it for nausea and stuff. And so I remember I hadn't used it in months, right? And I used it that time. And I went back to that class the next day. I was hearing people cry. I was just like, I'm thinking, oh my God, you guys all need to take this stuff. I didn't say that. I was just thinking, do you know, like, even all that time, it helped me get out of that depressed energy. It helped me to move forward. Now, there's many people, I have friends, and I'm like, you gotta try it, you gotta try it. And my friend's like, no, 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 I get all paranoid, I get anxiety, blah, blah, blah. Now, why does cannabis have bad effects sometimes? And so I wanna talk about that. Well, okay, so when we're talking about a plant, as I mentioned in my previous video, a plant is conscious, okay? It is living. It is part of the spirit, and it is alive, and it holds a vibration just much as we hold a vibration. Plants hold vibrations, and so when you're talking about something that's giving you a bad effect, you're having a mismatch of a vibration there. And when a marijuana, when you smoke it and it's making you paranoid and you feel like something bad is going to happen, the cops are going to catch you, you're just not matched up with that plant. Because one thing that I did learn after coming out of church and living on the streets of Oakland, next door, my ex, he was with this group that grew marijuana. And when they grew it, they did things to it. So you never know when these people, so the Cannabis Clubs will buy like pounds of marijuana at a time from anybody who grows it if you have a cannabis card. This was back then, I know it's illegal now. And so they had like little house setups, right? Well, these guys were questionable guys, and so they would add things into the cannabis thinking it would make it better. You know, they would add like, you know, drugs like heroin, you know, things that you don't know what they're doing to the plants. You don't know the energy, and it might not be what they're doing to it, but it could be the vibration of his house. It was that vibration of the house was hovering at a very low density. So can you imagine anything with a lower vibration? If you're growing plants, if you're cooking food there, it's going to all hold that vibration. So like even the same thing with food, if the chef that's cooking your food is in a good attitude and a good spirit, that's why it really doesn't matter if you're a vegan or not, because you can be a vegan and eat only vegetables. But if you go to a restaurant and the person that prepares your food is angry and upset and a nasty attitude, and they're preparing your food, they're transferring that energy to your food. So when you eat that food, you may not feel as good as a person who had meat yesterday from a really happy cook. So the same thing with the plant. When you smoke that plant, you're ingesting that vibration. Now, what I have learned to do since I learned how to do Reiki is like I would actually transfer positive energy into my plant. So like you can do that. You don't actually have to be certified to Reiki. If you hold it in your hands and you think love and you focus your energy towards that plant, and you put like a positive vibration into it. You think about love, you think about all of the moments that made you happiest in your life, and that's how a quick way to raise your vibration, and then try to channel and focus that energy into it. So I'll do that sometimes to make sure I bypass that point. Another thing with cannabis is I've gotten into it where I've done it every day and then it doesn't work anymore, or it starts feeling nasty. Well, you have to do everything in moderation, even that. And so there's times I tried to quit and go to cold turkey, but I realized it wasn't really meant for me to quit. It's really meant for you to be responsible doing it. Like, don't do it every day. Don't do it when you don't need to. Like, it's easy. It feels good. It's relaxing. It's easy to just be like, oh, I got a free break. Let me go outside and smoke. That's when the vibration starts to change. You're doing it too much. It's not going to work the same. But I'm telling you, if you use it right, you can use it as a tool to help you with meditation, to help you to connect with your spirit guides, help lift your vibration and clear your energy. And so that's what I wanted to talk about, cannabis and Ascension. I actually want to, on my Ayahuasca Diaries channel, I'm actually going to be dealing with not just ayahuasca, but psychedelics and how they relate to spirituality, because on ayahuasca is when I actually really saw that these plants have a consciousness and a vibration. And when I saw what ayahuasca could do to you, let me tell you, this plant talks to you, okay? This plant called me. Oh, let's see, we're at 14 minutes. I want to go deeper in this, but I'll just do another video. But like literally, this plant called me before it came to me. It came to me in a dream, a vision. A memory. It was a vision of a memory that I took it before. And I'm like wanting to take it so bad. The next thing you know, my hairdresser is telling me, oh, my friend got ayahuasca. I said, who is she? Where did she get it from? She hooked me up with her shaman. I literally had it that weekend. And so I just want to tell you, like, when it comes to you, when it's time, it's like it's been waiting for you all your life. It is a conscious spirit. And once you do the ayahuasca experience. It flows through your body and you kind of merge with that consciousness, and it enlightens you. It shows you things. It takes you to other worlds and other dimensions. It also helps you work through traumas and issues, and I'm telling you, I got healed from a lot of childhood trauma when I came back. Anyways, thank you for watching. Peace and love. Namaste.